Hello, moviegoers, and welcome to another edition of Have You Seen It? I'm your host, Denise, and happy Election Day. But by the time you see this review, Election Day will be a thing of the past. I have voted, and I hope you have voted as well. All right, so to start our show this evening, I included the segment, My Favorite Actor. And this week, my favorite actor is the very, very talented Leonardo DiCaprio. And I couldn't decide which movies I wanted to mention on his behalf to highlight his acting skills, but I'll just throw these out there. The Revenant, Catch Me If You Can, The Wolf of Wall Street, and Killers of the Flower Moon. So this week, my favorite actor, Leonardo DiCaprio. All right, folks, so I am going to get into this review. And the name of the movie is We Move in Time. It stars Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield. They play the characters Almut and Tobias, respectively. So this movie comes in under 2 hours, about an hour, 45 minutes, okay, which was really good. The pace of this movie, I think, was good. I didn't feel like there were any lags or long, drawn-out dialogue or situations. I thought it was paced very well. So this movie is about two people who are brought together in a very unexpected encounter. And this encounter changes their lives forever. In this movie, you have to pay attention to the timeline or the passing of time. The movie doesn't tell you that, for example, this scene happened 10 years ago or 3 months ago or yesterday or whatever. You just have to follow the movie. So it took me a little bit of time, if you will, to realize how they were doing this. So you've got snapshots of their lives together, but it does go back and forth. So once I realized that the two individuals were in the present versus in the past, I was able to follow along. I actually overheard another moviegoer say, this is confusing. So when you go to see this movie, you might feel that way as well, but you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So in these snapshots of time passing between this couple, you see that they fall in love. You see that they create a life together, a home together, and a family together. Almut is a rising chef. So Almut is played by Florence Pugh. Tobias is just coming off of a divorce. And as the timeline passes, that's where you realize what his past is. But he works for a company called Weetabix. And so you hear that mentioned quite often in the movie. Once the couple have established their relationship, another unexpected life change really shakes the relationship and the foundation that they have built. And it determines pretty much how they're going to move forward. Does she continue the pursuit of being a chef? Does Tobias support that decision? How do they decide what this new information means for them? Do they stay together? Do they take an unconventional route to navigating this new circumstance? Do they take the traditional route of dealing with this circumstance? So all of these things are being discussed and played out throughout the movie. And, you know, it's a movie that will, you know, tug at your heartstrings a bit, because there is very intense. There's an intense dialogue between the two. Their situation with this new circumstance kind of has come to a head, and then they have this really intense conversation, and they say some hurtful things to each other, and it'll make you feel some kind of way. So it is a supportive relationship. It's a relationship where pride is involved, where selflessness is involved, but also some selfish actions are taken on the part of, one, if not both, of the people in this relationship. So that's pretty much it. I just encourage you to pay attention to what the span of time is revealing in this movie, and I think you will enjoy this particular movie. I really like Florence Pugh anyway. I've seen her in a couple of things, and I really like her. So there you have it. All right, I'm going to jump into my Nailed It, and my Nailed It for this week is from the movie When a Man Loves a Woman. And in this particular scene, our main character, one of our main characters, is Andy Garcia. And he is married to Meg Ryan's character, and she's an alcoholic. And he has, he's put in a pretty sticky situation in this particular scene where he has two daughters, and the youngest daughter asks him, "What is an alcoholic?" And as a father would do, he gives the best answer that he can based on the child's age and what he thinks that she can handle. But the older daughter just cuts to the chase and explains to her younger sister what an alcoholic is, and describes the things that she sees mommy doing and saying and the way that she's behaving. And the younger child really gets that explanation. So that is my Nailed It for this week. Andy Garcia explaining to his daughters what an alcoholic is. All right, folks, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that like button. And remember, we are available on every podcast platform in the universe. Just type in, "Have you seen it with Denise?" and there I will be. All right, moviegoers, you know what to do. Until next week, I need you to see a movie, because I'm going to see a movie. Until next week, bye-bye.